Alright, hey gang, old blue cord back. Gonna do a little outdoor power equipment video. And of course it's springtime, so there's a lot of this going on. And of course we talked about the lawnmower. It's back in action. It's running pretty good. That new deck belt is looking good. I just mowed with this so you can tell it's dirty. Put the hood back on. Looks like we're doing pretty good with the leak. Not the best light today. Beautiful day out, but not the best light. But yeah, I just used Permatex on the gasket, valve cover gasket, and I adjusted the valves just like we talked about. And man, it is running so smooth. This mower had a little deal where, especially if you put headphones on, I mow with headphones, had a really funny vibration sound. It's kind of hard to explain, but I thought it was the deck, and I thought maybe it was the bearings or something, but I think what it was the motor just balance wasn't real good. So by adjusting the valves, especially the exhaust valves, it is just so much smoother, and it's using a lot less fuel. I was using, it's kind of hard to tell with this older tank. You have to shake it and then look, see where the fuel is. I was going through whatever this tank is, three gallons and maybe 2 mows, and now I think I've halved my consumption. Yeah, I mean the fuel, see the fuel is, it's right there. I mean, I just mowed my entire lawn plus a little bit of my neighbors plus this whole back. The fuel consumption, wow, I mean that was a big one right there. And then the third thing, which is strange, but it's had to do something to do with the valves, was once the mower was hot, when it went to crank it, it would just be like it's locked, you know, it'd be like couldn't turn, and I'd have to either come out and jump the battery or something, and I put batteries in it. I went through the connections a couple times. I just thought the battery or starter was going bad, but I think what happened when it was hot is that motor had too much compression in the wrong places, so it was just hard starting. So all that, this thing's running like a dream. Now I got to change the oil, mess around with the deck a little bit. Still kind of grease everything. I went to grease it, ran out of grease. This has got the greasable spindles, which I like. That's why I bought. So, but overall, I'm just really impressed with how just that little bit of maintenance. Now, these Intech motors, you know, this is the older, I think now they're up to 20, 24, 25. You're supposed to adjust those valves every year. And I mean, this thing's never done it. So, that's the model number in there. Yeah, so lesson learned there. So we don't need batteries, don't need this, don't need that. Just adjust your valves like you're supposed to. And yeah, like I said, way smoother too. I mean, when you put headphones on, the drone was just terrible. I wish I could explain it, but now it's just as smooth as silk. So it was all in the engine somehow, and maybe a deck belt too, obviously. And then all right, so we'll go on to the latest and greatest. Well, I did buy a new gas can, we'll go into that, but the old weed eaters. This is one piece of equipment I can't ever stand. I've mowed lawns and made money mowing lawns since I was like 14, and these things here have always been the bane of my existence. Now this one is an F70R. I just bought this one maybe 2 seasons ago, and I bought it mid-season. It's a still, and I got it out of box. I paid a lot for it. I think it was $269 or $299. And this is the true 2-stroker. The one I had before was the 2-stroke version, but then it had valves in it. The valves, you'd have to adjust them, which that I don't believe is true on this one. But anyway, this thing's it's been okay, but it's the same deal getting it started. Got to have fresh gas. I left gas in it from last year. I hope I drained it. No, there's gas in it. So I have not even tried to start this. I'm probably not going to, because yeah, it's full. See, and that's probably from late last year. So that's going to be trouble right there. It might start. You never know. I might even try it as we're sitting here. But so here's the latest, greatest. And this is why I'll probably get rid of this gas, is battery. Guys, I just can't believe this is a 40 volt. I believe this tool and battery together was $149. I ran Let's see how much power I got left. Yeah, I'm right down to the end. I actually weed eated. You can tell my yard is a mess. I weeded all in the front. I weeded some back here in the back. I mean, I've really done quite a bit, and you can see how much weeding I have anyway. It's just hours and hours. This thing is just eating it up. Now, part of it is it's just a more modern design. It starts with the head. This still, and all these stills have it. That's the old school head, like when I was, 30 some years ago when I started mowing lawns. This is the exact style head, and it's terrible to load. It's the dual wire, and when you go to put new string in it, one's got to go one way, whatever. You never quite get it on there right. And then typical of these dual string, that motor doesn't really have the power to pull it. I'm sure they say it does, but I'm telling you, with the dual string on it, it bogs a lot. You get down to this heavy stuff, and then you start getting tangled up into something right here, it just pulls the motor right down. A lot of times, I'll just run it with one side on there, and I know a lot of people do that, and it works perfectly fine. The nice thing about that, the straight shaft, though, is you can't put a blade on. I have run a blade on that quite a bit. I believe you can run a blade on this Ryobi, but I need to look that up. It does have the expandable attachments, which I really haven't even looked at. And you can get this tool bare for like under $100. And that's the other thing, it's cheap. So, and lightweight, I mean, I'm gonna have to weigh them, but this thing, and part of these is, yeah, you pick that up, yeah. And it's the balance too. As you can see, I can just pick this up with one hand, and where the battery is to the head, it's perfectly balanced. Like, I'm not even straining holding it up, I'm just picking it straight up. Where this thing, when you go to pick it up, it's like it's immediately biting you, or you try to put it on your shoulder and walk or whatever. It's just ridiculous. But so yeah, it's got a little unit, and like I said, the best part of it, you don't even have to bother starting it. You just grab the trigger. I'm out of string, so and that's the battery almost dead. And I weed eated way over an hour with this, so this is the way to go, boys. I mean, I like gas, and like I said, I've done it my whole life, but not having to go get gas, not having to mix fuel. It's got this cool little head on it. You just put the string straight through and then twist it with the little tool that I've got over there. I have heard, and I can tell already, my buddy told me he's got one of these, in this head right here, this all gets stripped out, and you're gonna and I can feel it. The edges are already, it's all gouged out right there. So that might be the only problem. And then this string that came with is rugged. Damn, I ran into the fence about 1,000,000 times with that stuff. And I don't know what this is. I think it's a wire reinforced. You can see up in there. But yeah, kind of cool. And they gave you a couple extra just to get you going. But yeah, that thing's a beast. It's pretty heavy for, I've got a mess here. It's just not typical trimming. I mean, look at the back. And this thing does pretty good. And then with the attachments, I'll start exploring some of the attachments. 4-amp-hour battery. Yep, not a bad gig. And then got a new gas can. This is going to be probably another. Well, let's put it up in the shop here. We can look at it. So I guess the old Blitz gas can that everybody bought for all those years, I guess that company went out of business. So I did some research. And this is a Sure can. Now, these are expensive. This was over $50. But it says it's built in the USA. And then I saw this, too. It's got the OSHA and whatever MSHA guidelines are. Yeah. And then it's got this, you got this pull-down spout for filling. So you say you're up in the air like that, and you come down. I'm not sure I'm going to like that, and then you have to hold this handle down to open. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm going to like that. I mean, by the picture, it's so you can rest 5 gallons and not have to hold it. And I am getting older. It is hard to hold a 5-gallon pail and not spill it all over yourself. And all these old style, here's the old style Blitz. They came with these goofy spouts that don't work, and you end up spilling stuff all over the place. And this is obviously, I mean, this can's all right, but the vent went bad. This doesn't shut, so this has got water and slime in it. I kind of don't like keeping my gas tanks in the shop, because it's just, I think it's not a bad idea. Maybe it's not, but kind of end up ruining most of them. So I'm getting rid of all the old gas tanks. And then Blitz, the reason why Blitz isn't around, they went out of business because what would happen is they got sued. Is if you say you were filling something up, there's a chance that a flame could go back through the spout and into the can. There's a bunch of people got blown up by these. My neighbor's coming home. You're going to hear his truck. And they've been sued. So there's no screen. So in the olden days, when you saw metal cans, let's take this off, there'd be a screen here, a metal screen. People thought, oh, it's just to catch debris and junk. But really, as a flame arrestor, so if the flame went back through and hit that screen, it wouldn't go back to the tank and blow yourself up. I believe all the old style metal tanks, and you can still buy the old style Just Right tanks. They're like $250. I can't see. And I'm not big on metal tanks because they always end up rusted inside. And maybe they've fixed that over time. And the metal's probably the way to go. But yeah, for 50 some bucks, 5 gallons, and then the fill. Yeah, I gotta look into that. So when you fill it, you just have that flappers in there. I'm putting my hand in there as I'm talking because I haven't played. I played with it a little bit. It's kind of a weird way to fill, and that's supposed to be your vent. So the only spout is that spout there, and I really would think maybe it'd be nice to get a spout there too. We'll see. But anyway, got a brand new clean. Haven't even taken the tag off. Start with brand new fuel. I've been using these. I think you all seen me use these little plastic jugs. Some kind of nasty chemical in there. They're actually a PEHDO2. That seems to work okay with gasoline, so I haven't had any problem with them. They don't have much UV protection. You can tell this one's kind of already whitening out. So that might be trouble, but that's in a jiffy. I've been using that to get my gas while I was hunting on one of those. So yeah, Sure Right can, about $55. Got it at Northern. I like Northern. And yeah, I'm going to get rid of all these cans, getting rid of the gas, and the gas can's going to be a mess. I've got to take it to the special dump and all that nonsense. But there we are, battery. So I'm going to go ahead and put this battery on charge. I'm not going to tackle putting the string in. I've got to kind of read the instructions. But it should be pretty easy. And I'm pretty happy with it so far. So still, sorry. You know, I've had a couple other of these. I had the other weed eater, and they told me it was a 4-stroke. It wasn't. It's really a 2-stroke. I knew it because you had to put oil in it. But I didn't know you were supposed to adjust the valves, and I didn't. And when it went bad, I gave it to a guy, and of course it wasn't really the valves. It was the coil or something, and the coils were super expensive, $60 or $80. And that was the same thing with the backpack blower. The coil went bad. It was always bad starting, and even under warranty, they never would do anything for it. The service around here is not great. I hate to say it. I kind of try to use the mom and pop shop, and they're always like 6-8 weeks behind. It never helps you when you, like, you know, last year it went bad right in the middle of August with the heaviest time, and I used this all the way into November, so I had to buy one quick, and yeah, that wasn't very helpful. Not really their fault, and this is the only thing they had. They didn't have anything else to sell, so I got kind of lucky just that part of the season. So, and then it's kind of funny too. I found out a little bit more on the Briggs. You know, I need to change the oil in the filter. I used to get that tune-up kit. Well, Briggs also went out of business in 2022. They filed bankruptcy. So, yeah, I don't know if they sell motors that are back on their feet, but getting that tune-up kit, I'm just going to end up buying everything individually. It's kind of silly, and they do want you to start using the synthetic oil, but on that older motor, I'm not really sure that's what I'm comfortable with. We'll see. I'm going to do some more research on that, but it's running good. We'll check the oil real quick. It looked really nice the other day, and then of course it's running so much cleaner, and I'm sure the plugs look a lot better. Let's see if we can see good. Oh yeah, you can see it good in the light. Yeah, and it's needing a little bit, so that's good. Yeah, but you can see that was from last year, so, and it doesn't smell too bad, so, but it needs changing. You should change it once a year. But yeah, I'm happy with how that came out, and keep the old mower going. These have gotten very expensive, so I don't remember what I paid for this one, but I really don't want a new one. Not right now, so I'm happy enough with the weed eater. Well, thanks a lot for looking. This took kind of a little while, but I wanted to just update you on all that. And yeah, I just like this little electric, because I mean, one-handed, watch. Man, don't have to crank it, pull it. I'll probably do a video of me trying to get that started just for the heck of it. What an aggravation those things are. Small little motors hate me anyway. They always have, so it'll be kind of fun to do a video of that one. But okay, well, thanks a lot for looking. Old Blue Accord. Please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later.